Hi there, Melanie McNamara here, your real estate consultant. Are you a first-time home buyer wondering where to start with your home search? Buying a home, especially your first home, can be a confusing and challenging process. And by the end of this video, I'm certain that you are going to feel comfortable, confident, and excited to get started. Now stick around to the end. I have a gift for you to help keep you on track to the closing table. Now let's get to it. What you'll be doing as a home buyer is building your team of professionals, and your first hire will be your pro realtor to help guide you through the process. Think of them as your team quarterback, or your team captain, or the pitcher. I don't know, never mind with the sports metaphors. Just know that they are going to be your go-to person through this entire process. I'll put a link down below to a video I made of how to choose the right realtor for you with some specific tips on choosing a realtor. So why should you hire a realtor? Well, first, it generally costs you absolutely nothing to hire a professional realtor to represent you when you're purchasing a home. It's going to save you time, money, headaches along the way, and most importantly, you have someone focused on your needs with your best financial interests in mind. The sellers are going to have someone representing them. You should have someone working for you, keeping an eye on your bottom line. Most likely in your first conversation with your realtor, they will refer you to a lender or three to get you pre-approved. It doesn't make any sense to start shopping for homes until you know how much you can afford, what loan product works best for you, what type of financing. And a pro realtor is not going to spend time showing you homes that you may never be able to buy. So they're going to refer you to a local reputable lender who is going to listen to your needs and take time to answer all your questions, and then will match you with a loan product that you are happy with and makes financial sense to you. The next step is your home buyer consultation. This is an important step. During the home buyer consultation, your realtor will evaluate your needs and your home buying criteria, your time frame, what you want to spend, what you can afford, and share details about the entire process with you, including what your out-of-pocket costs will be along the way. They'll answer all your questions and concerns, and then at that time, you can get out there and start shopping for your new home. When you're looking at homes, keep in mind you're probably not going to find that super special unicorn that you're looking for. You're most likely going to find a home that meets about 75% of your criteria. So you'll need to do some compromising. Your agent will have explained the market to you, whether you're looking in a seller's market or a neutral or a buyer's market, which is going to be more of a determining factor on what you're going to find and how quickly you're going to find it. You should have made a must-have and a want list. So for example, your must-have list could be a particular school district, 3 bedrooms in a full basement. And then your wants could maybe be an updated kitchen and a 2-car garage and a fenced yard. So then when you're evaluating homes, as you're looking at them, you'll make a pro and con list. And you're going to have to do some compromising. Perhaps this one had a beautifully updated kitchen, but only a 1-car garage. And this one was in your desired school district, but no garage. You know, what are you willing to compromise? Next step is writing the offer. This is exciting. You're going to sit down with your realtor and they're going to explain the standard contract to you, and then they're going to fill in the specifics of your offer price. Are you asking for any seller concessions? What is your close by date? What's your financing? Any contingencies you need to write in the contract? I'll also put a link to a video down below that I made about writing a strong offer in a multiple offer situation. Now your realtor at this time will have already sent the listing over to the lender, so they will have run some numbers to give you a really good idea of what costs you're going to need to bring to closing and what your monthly payment is going to be. So there's no big surprises when you show up to the closing table. Now, along with your offer, you're going to be providing an earnest money deposit or a good faith deposit. And this amount in my area, generally a buyer will write about 1% of the sale price in a standard offer. So for example, if you're writing $100,000, your earnest money deposit will be about $1,000. It varies case by case. You'll consult with your realtor on what is the best earnest money you would like to put down. And that amount is deposited with the title company or a holding company. and then it's a credit back to you at closing. So there's your first out-of-pocket expense as you're shopping for homes. Submitted with your offer will be that letter of pre-approval from your reputable local lender that you chose, along with signed seller's disclosures and anything else that is traditional in your area. So once that has been sent over to the listing agent, they will present to their seller, and the seller is either going to accept your offer as written, they'll reject it outright, or they will most likely counter it. And they could counter something like price or even financing, or something as simple as just the language written in, or a clarification on the reserved items, or maybe a close by date. Every situation is different, and your pro realtor will advise you accordingly. Once you've negotiated through a counteroffer, or if things go well, you've signed down and accepted as written offer, the next step is your home inspection. In my area, the average home inspection is about $325 to $425, depending on the scope of services that you would like performed. You may choose to add on radon, a drain scope. Perhaps you need well and septic inspections, or maybe a certified pest inspection. Your inspector is going to be a member of that pro team you're putting together, and your realtor will have some referrals for you. You'll want to hire an inspector with years of experience and the tools available to really evaluate, are there any underlying issues with this home? The inspector you choose should provide multiple photos and a detailed electronic report. This is most likely one of the largest investments you'll make in your lifetime, and with the health and safety of your family at risk as well, don't skip this step over a few $100s, which could end up costing you thousands. Okay, so your home inspection is done. What next? Well, you are going to consult with your inspector and make sure you have a thorough understanding of everything that came up in the report, and then you will consult with your realtor on, are there any major health and safety defects that you are going to have to ask the seller to repair, or perhaps adjust the sale price to compensate for something major that came up. Now, every house is going to have some maintenance issues, and you'll need to decide together with your realtor if there are any deal breakers. Keep in mind the seller may or may not agree to any repairs or changes in the contract. And it's at this time that you are going to have to decide, is it a deal breaker? And this is where you really need to rely on the team of experts that you've put together. You have a trusted lender who has provided you with numbers, so you know all your costs that you're going to have at closing and what your monthly payments are going to be. How much is that house really costing you? And you have your home inspector with years of experience who has guided you through, and then your realtor who negotiates contracts on a daily basis. So listen to their advice, and you probably don't want to dig your heels in over a maintenance issue and risk losing your new home. You know, I'm curious. I'd love to hear from you. What are some things that you might consider a deal breaker at the time of inspection if you were to purchase a new home? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're doing your due diligence, the title company is performing a title search to make sure that the property is free and clear of any claims. This is generally the seller's responsibility. However, you should be aware of it, and your realtor is going to be following that as well. And I'm going to put a link down below that explains a little bit more about title insurance and what that is and why it's important for you. So once you're past the home inspection contingency, you've removed that, or you've negotiated your way through that, next up, the lender is going to order appraisal. Generally in our area, appraisals run maybe $350 to even up to $750, and it just depends on the type of property, and it varies from lender to lender. You will have been told that cost up front by your lender, so you are ready for that, and that is the third out-of-pocket expense that you're going to have in this process. Now, the primary purpose of an appraisal is so the mortgage holder can verify that the property they're lending on is at market value at the price that the buyer and seller have agreed upon, and that there's no repairs that will be required. Once the appraisal is completed and it comes in at value, we'll do another video on things that could come up in appraisals. let's assume that it's going to come in, it's at value, and there are no repairs. It gets sent right back into underwriting for final review. You're also going to be setting up your homeowner's insurance at this time. You can't close without homeowner's insurance, and your lender and or your realtor will be able to refer you to a great insurance agent to help you through that as well. Now, during this whole entire process, it is imperative that you do not make any changes to your finances. Don't make any large payments on anything. Don't open any lines of credit. Don't switch jobs or quit your job. Just before closing, the lender is going to verify everything one last time. They're going to verify your credit and your employment. And if there are any big changes, it could throw a wrench in the entire process, and you may not be able to close on your new home. This is where many deals fall through. So it's very important that you do not make any changes to your finances. Once the file has gone through final underwriting and title is clear, the lender is going to say those three sweet, sweet words that realtors and buyers and sellers love to hear: clear to close. You can really start celebrating now. You're also going to want to be flexible with your schedule because closing needs to be coordinated with multiple parties. Got to schedule it with the title company. You're obviously going to have buyers and sellers there. Both agents, your agent and the listing agent, perhaps a managing broker. A lot of parties are involved with scheduling a closing. Generally takes about an hour to 2 hours to perform the closing. So you could take a long lunch from work or leave work early or take the whole day off. So once you do set that date, then the lender is going to put together a closing package that they send to the title company, and the title company is going to draw up closing documents, send it back to the lender for approval. So there's a lot of paper going back and forth. So you can't close immediately. It depends on your area. Sometimes you can close in 3 days, 3 to 10 days, usually after you hear the clear to close. And you'll have an opportunity prior to closing to review those documents so you know how much you have to bring to close, what your numbers are, and everything. Your fantastic lender and realtor are going to work together to make sure all your questions are answered so there's no confusion. And then you show up to closing, bring your certified check. You're going to get the house key if occupancy is that day. You'll get your house key, sign everything, get your signing hand warmed up, and after closing, you can go start moving into your new home. It's very exciting. Congratulations. So how are you feeling now about the home buying process? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable? Did that help alleviate any concerns you have about getting started? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the subscribe button. You can click the little bell so you're alerted every time a new video is posted. Feel free to share with someone you think could benefit from this. I'd also like to share with you my top 10 potential deal killers to avoid when you're purchasing a home. I'll put a link down below and click that. I will get it sent right over to you. And thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.